Morjesta, I am Jerry, this is Rauta, welcome to Heavy Metal Review with Cardinals Folly from Finland, Live by the Sword. Now those who think it's still going to be a lot of doom metal, well, I have bad news for you and good news at the same time. Yes, it's kind of a doomy, but it's also kind of a groovy, and with those faster tempo parts it's more like heavy metal. Now, obviously, the line between heavy metal, classic kind, or epic doom, or just doom metal in general is sometimes written in water, and some people might consider this and that is doom, and some people would say no, it's classic heavy metal. Whatever you feel like about it, don't kill the messenger boy. I'm just delivering you something that it's not my own imagination, but some of me and my colleagues sharing thoughts about it. But what is more important is that Cardinals Folly, coming from Finland, starting in 2007 with this given name and all, is now out with quite a few albums. I mean, take a look at here what's happening in Metal Archives. Being said, there are a few albums already out, compilation splits and whatever. So it's been always kind of a busy bee, releasing albums every 2 years or so, approximately. Now, this being the sixth album by the band, studio album, means that the band has actually progressed, getting quite a bit of experience over the years and resulting this 40-minute 8-track album, and which I would say is definitely more on the doom, not doom side, but heavy metal side of things, or doominess. Boasting with this album, Lady in Flames, of sorts, is kind of old school ways and definitely brings some 70s vibe to me, which I guess is part of the charm here. And obviously people who are looking for some kind of a doom experience are not gonna be, I guess, not that much disappointed. But if you're expecting just dragging doomy tempos and all, maybe you are after all a little bit in for a disappointment. But let's take a look at this album while I talk you through and try to describe the music so that you might find it interesting or whatnot. And let's see what we have here in stock. So what started as more of a doomy thing with clean vocals and all that stuff has somehow evolved into something different. Now at the same time, this is kind of a modern and kind of old-fashioned. Modern by sound and all, I mean the guitar sound is really crispy. I gotta say it's really good for this kind of stuff. Not being exactly raw, but kind of a pushing the boundaries between kind of a punchy, feely, crispy thing, and it's definitely supporting the riffs here. Then you have, of course, the other instruments which are really nicely balanced, and this trio indeed understands how or what you really need to do in order to get this kind of a proper feeling for rather classic kind of a traditional metal. I mean, whether you call it 70s inspired or 80s stuff or something else, I think these guys know what to make things click. Now, when it comes to vocal performance, I'm alone when I'm gonna say something that is gonna piss some people off or make people offended or whatever. Possibly so. I don't know. Doom metal people tend to be even more, how to say, let's be honest about it. They sometimes tend to be offended or annoyed more easily than any other metal people in the world, including black metal purists. So I'm gonna say this vocalist could still be a lot better. I mean, I kind of like his voice and all that stuff, but in terms of epic metal, be it doomy or heavy metal, I mean, there's still a little bit of the karaoke vibe here, saying this as opposed to, the real good vocalists who are like hitting the notes all the time. This is still a little bit flimsy, like, okay, yeah, I get what you're going for, but still. But maybe then again, it's part of the charm with Cardinals Folly. So I'm not gonna not gonna shit on it and say like these fans don't understand. Maybe it's actually part of the charm that once you have a little bit, say down to earth kind of a thing versus those godlike vocalists, maybe it's easy to approach it and even sing along when you do your shower performances and all. Now, 8 tracks through the 40 minutes is pretty basic. I mean, you have these songs which are approximately 5 minutes on average, and also means the lengthiest song of them all is around 7 minutes. Then again, there are a couple of tracks which are quite short, of course, starting with instrumental, but also the second track lasting for 4 minutes or so. This means this is not going to the epic proportions in terms of doom metal, and for some people, it's really a good thing, because some people are like, me getting fed up when you go for 8 minutes and you keep like forgetting that enough repetition is needed, so the songs kind of get stuck in your mind and become those, hit songs in a way, or hit moments even. And this is something that I think has changed over the years versus the songs and albums which are like way too lengthy for their own good. Now, some people are so ready to say that this is like the best heavy metal or doom metal band in the world, and I guess I kind of can understand it, but I really can't fully agree. I mean, I kind of like their down-to-earth approach and the kind of old-school doomy flirtation with what is coming and happening here, but it's not really speaking me that well. I mean, I like the vibe and it's kind of organic with the strong production and all, but that being said, this ain't really no Manowar, nor Black Sabbath, nor Iron Maiden. This is coming from different territory, and people who like that angle to heavy metal or classic doom metal might really, really like it. But people who are expecting more like power metal expression to that, or more rock and rollist expression in terms of heavy metal and doom, might be like, okay, this ain't really that kind of a thing. So it all comes down to your preferences, as always, but saying this is kind of a particular angle or school of heavy doom metal, which might not be for everybody. Like, for example, my last year favorite for all metal albums were done by Soulseller, which is definitely heavy doom kind of thing, but it's more on the epic side of things, which this is not. So there is the difference. However, I think you should be checking it out, whether you like doom or classic heavy metal, and you don't really fancy too many fast parts, because this is not a fast album, obviously, having more the roots on the doom side of things. However, that being said, also there are parts where this kind of gets more in motion, more energy, more faster tempos, even if we're not talking about blast beats here. So take it as a word of warning or word of suggestion, recommendation, if you will. That being said, I think you should be checking this out if doom and heavy metal are close to your heart. And if you don't like it, well, too bad, can always win. Links are provided in the description box. Check it out and hope you enjoy it. Take care and bye-bye.